All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the markets. And obviously, we saw quite a tumble over the last 7 days now. We've seen an 11% drop in Bitcoin. We've seen a 6% drop over the 24 hours on Bitcoin as well. And we'll talk about the markets, but more so, I want to talk about the biggest opportunities. Most people, when they see these big dumps, they think it's over. They think crypto's done. They think that they have to run, sell their positions, cover their bottom, cover their downside, so to speak. But right now is actually the best time after these big turbo dumps to be accumulating some of your favorite positions. I'll go over some targets that we've been waiting for a long time. And honestly, we told you some of these lows would play out on some altcoins. But more importantly, in this show, I'm going to go over the one project, and there's a couple, but the one project that's showing the most strength against this market and what is truly looking like it could be the next Axie Infinity. And I'll show you the comparison of the charts to show my logic on exactly why. So without further ado, let's jump in the game. And first and foremost, as always, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more every single day here on Crypto Banter. And a quick shout out to our sponsors as well, Bybit and Mexi, for all of your trading needs. Mexi still caters to the US customers. And for Bybit, I believe the contest signups ended yesterday, but you can still sign up for a Bybit account down below. NordVPN, always navigate safely and securely throughout crypto. Use a VPN down below. And last but not least, Sophiaverse, who is bridging the gap between AI and gaming. Let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. And you Rand and Sheldon and the guys, they've all told you exactly what happened with Bitcoin and with the markets. We saw the news that Elon sold. We saw the news of an Ethereum ETF. Just a few minutes ago, I saw another update on the SEC with XRP. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this market. And after the XRP pump I would say, at this point, like a month ago, the liquidity has been slowly bleeding out, and we've kind of just seen altcoins take a big hit from that lack of liquidity. We've now seen Bitcoin take a big hit. Whether it's manipulation or not, we'll have to see in the long haul. But there's so many opportunities whenever you see this much red in the markets. If we go to the 24 hours, some projects down 15%, 10%, 18%, 7%. There's a lot of red across the board right now, and even more on the weekly charts here. 33% on YGG. We see Axie Infinity down 18%. So there are a lot of opportunities across the board. And I tweeted this yesterday, and people who have been watching this show, some of these prices don't surprise us, right? So IMX under 60 cents. This is one that I've been talking about for a long time, that despite the bullish narrative behind Immutable X, the tokenomics, the consistent token unlocks. So one played out last week, and we have another token unlock coming here in 21 days. So the consistent unlocks, the lack of certainty across the markets, and of course, the lack of games that are live, unfortunately, on Immutable X, there's just not enough network activity here for me to be buying in yet. And I think we could see even lower. And it's actually getting pretty brutal here on the chart, if you ask me. So I'm still holding off on Immutable, but we see Immutable under 60 cents. We still see Magic under 60 cents. I think this is a really good accumulation. Arbitrum Gaming eventually is going to catch fire because of the low gas feed, the efficiencies on the network. I think that Arbitrum Gaming narrative will be huge in the future. I think that Magic is a great accumulation. Yesterday, we saw Ronin underneath 60 cents. And despite what people say, I tweeted this today, people love to try and diminish Axie Infinity, but reality is that the IP is the strongest in Web3 gaming. The developments always are coming. They released 2 new games on their Mavis Greenlight. The community is more alive than ever. And honestly, they have the most active players in the entire Web3, in the entire Web3 industry. They have the most daily active players that are real players, that aren't bots. Let me say that first and foremost. They still dominate the industry. So Ronin is definitely a good accumulation after this big dump over the week of, 12% at this point in time. And last but not least, Gala, which also has taken a pretty big hit this week, down 15%. The reason I think this is a great price is if you look here, the 2 cent level was the key level before the meta pump of the bull run of 2021. So if it sinks lower than this, then we might see new lows for almost 2 years at this point. So that's something to watch for. I think under 2 cents is a fantastic accumulation on Gala. And I will update on one more before we get into the main topic of this show, which I think you're going to want to listen to because it's showing the strength against the market, just like Axie did 2 years ago. And I'll go over exactly those trends in just a second. But Polygon has me concerned. Polygon's down 25%. Obviously, the updates, the partnerships have slowed down. Utes is migrating off of there on the NFT side. We don't see as many games and businesses coming through the door as we did a few months ago. And obviously, Ryan Wyatt, Fwiz, who's a gaming legend, isn't with Polygon anymore. So this does have me quite concerned. This one could really take a hit over the next few weeks to a month. And if there's no market or economic certainty, this one, I don't know where Polygon's going to end up, but this one kind of has me concerned as it's free falling, just like Immutable X is. So, IMX and Polygon, I'm expecting lower prices, but I do genuinely think Magic, Ronin, and Gala are fantastic buys as of now. And we'll talk about other ones I'm looking for DCAs at the end of the show. But let's get into the main topic of the show because there is one token. If you see the title of this video, there is one token that's refusing to budge, that's refusing to cooperate with whatever you want to call it. The manipulation after the dump and then the ETF announcement, all the liquidations, everything that we've seen over the last 24 hours in these markets is Echelon Prime. The Prime token is still up 31% over the 7 days. And over the month, it has doubled in price. And it's up 15% over the 1 day time period. So what is making this token so strong in this market? And it's still a low market cap token at a $62 million market cap. And we're going to compare this to Axie Infinity. So Axie Infinity is 10 times the market cap. You could say about 11 times the market cap, a $685 million market cap. But I want you to take a look at these key trends. So one thing I tweeted yesterday is obviously that gaming eventually is going to trend against the market. Echelon Prime is a gaming token, and it's pumped even more since I tweeted this. I said markets say dump it all, but Prime says they sold, pump it, right? Gaming will eventually trend this way against the market. So we'll trend completely separated from the market. But the problem so far in the industry, we haven't had the games and the products to warrant that. The continuation of a trend against a down market. But the one product over time that showed it can do that is Axie Infinity, right? So this is a quality example of a game, Parallel, and the Prime token with a quality game with heavy market share. Every person in the industry is looking at this product at this moment in time, and tons of growth still to come despite a down market. Gaming will win. So why am I seeing trends playing out just like Axie Infinity? Let's just shrink this chart here and let's go to this time period here. We'll even shrink in it a little more, right? So in May to June of 2021, this token was at this price level right here, $4, around the $4 level. And if we pull up the Bitcoin chart and we go to the alt chart and we go to those same ranges, perfect. And we'll go ahead and shrink this so we have a closer perspective. So in 2021, Bitcoin's timeline is just so much longer. So here we go. So in 2021, from May 13th to July 20th, or really from April 15th to July 20th, Bitcoin dropped over 50% in price. So keep your eyes on that, over 50% in price during that time period. And Axie Infinity from April 15th, so right about here, about $8 price level, up until what was the date that we just isolated? Let's see. July 20th, we go to July 20th on the charts here, and it had already moved. It had doubled in price. By the 27th, it had 5x in price. By April or by August 23rd, it had 10x in price. And obviously, at the top of the bull market, this thing got to $157. But the key here is this really the trend here. It started to pump tremendously in a time period where the market was doing nothing but negative activity. And why was this? People were picking up Axie at the time. Gamers in the Philippines and across the world were saying, hey, the market's down, but I can play this video game and I can earn a little bit on the side and still make, quote unquote, ends meet, a living, or just have a little bit of a side income during this time period. So what's happening right now is the exact same thing with Echelon Prime. People, despite the market, people are coming in and playing this game every single day. So as we see here, Material Group, 4 agonizing years, the crazy hours that they put into working on Call of Duty would put in while I lived in Santa Monica. Parallel TCG is pioneering an exciting paradigm. So this is awesome to see. The average AAA video game costs $80 million in 4 years to develop. Parallel did this in 2 years and less than $20 million spent, while generating over 40 mil in revenue before launch, thanks to players who love the game currency before launch. The world is sleeping on this team. We see people going over threads, and it's not about how to earn, it's about how to play the game. This is something that is tremendously bullish for a individual game project to have this much sentiment. And people ask, what does the Prime token do? It's the utility token for Echelon and its ecosystem of games. So Prime will eventually be utilized across multiple ecosystems. Prime powers token-gated projects, services, and experience called the Prime Syncs, and it's distributed through gameplay and sync distributions. But the one thing is they have a very good economic mechanic that will take a lot of this out of the circulating supply, which could potentially make this more scarce down the line. And we have genuine gamers here. As a TCG enthusiast, I've been enjoying the rookie mode on Parallel, can confirm it's a well-designed game with AAA quality. So, and this is a Hearthstone Legend rank player, 2019. The bottom line here is whenever there is a market crash like we are seeing right now, and there's no economic clarity, we could be heading into that recession that people have been talking about for so long, right? The stock market is about at its peak. If the stock market keeps rallying and Michael Burry gets buried on his shorts, then so be it. But we are at a tipping point in markets, economies, real estate prices. A lot of things look pretty toppy at this moment in time, but products like Echelon Prime and Parallel Trading Card Game, they are just getting started. And I think this market cap, and the fully diluted is a 400 million. The fully diluted of Axie is about 1.3 million. So it's still about a 3x from the size of Axie Infinity's total diluted market cap. I don't want to tell you this can be bigger than Axie, but I think this could be the next Axie style trend with the token going against the market because of the pure amount of players, activity, and sentiment around this product. I went long Echelon Prime, I think right around like here somewhere, and this one's played out really well so far. So I'm really excited for the future of Echelon Prime, and genuinely at a $62 million circulating market cap. And with the the circulating supply is slow. Like there's not a lot of tokens that come into circulation on a day-to-day basis. I think that this one is going to continue its trend, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see $4 plus here in the very short term. And I also see Tom in the chat. I do want to shout out this token. My team spoke with the team over at Dubs yesterday. This project is definitely making waves. This one is fully diluted, so all the tokens are circulating. It's actually tremendous. If you look, it's up 2,000% over the month. It's like a esports betting platform. This one is definitely got some juice behind it right now. to use a betting term. So definitely one not to fade, but I'm not going to be chasing the pump. That it's definitely ran a little much for my liking. But I did speak with this team yesterday. My team did, and we're really bullish on what they are putting together. So this just shows you that despite the overall market sentiment, you can find gyms that are getting market share, players, and activity, and you can still take advantage of those in a down market. I mean, we did this with WagMe Games right here. We took advantage of a huge gain on WagMe Games. This one's taken a bit of a retrace, and I think it's starting to get to accumulation levels. You know, at a $24 million market cap, I think WagMe Games is a tremendous accumulation at this time. Into the blue, I love accumulating PYR around $3. Absolutely. I'm looking at Solana as a potential accumulation. If we look at the 1 month, it has gone down 20% now. And I think that smart money has been accumulating Solana because they know the network actually works. It's fast, it's efficient. People are still building there. And the NFT market there is still pretty ripe. So I do think accumulating Solana will be smart in the long haul. I think accumulating Altura is, you know, my favorite low cap at this time. So I'm looking at Altura big time. Render's gotten pretty cheap as well. If this one starts to sink in those low $1 ranges, I think Render will be a really good buy at this time period. We'll get into the chat questions here in just a second. Alex, not many exchanges to buy Prime. It is on Coinbase. So because they are building on Base, Coinbase fully supports Echelon Prime, which is another thing. Like, they're on Coinbase, but they aren't on Binance, they aren't on KuCoin, they aren't on a lot of these different exchanges. There are a lot more exchange listings to come. I picked mine up on Uniswap, but it is on Coinbase, so it is pretty accessible. Mike says, imagine when Vera separates the POV marker tokens from the total supply. Absolutely. I love Veracity, and I think that if this one, last I checked, it's still above my DCA price. It is. So I'm not going to be rushing into accumulating more as I'm still above water on my position. But whenever this market cap gets shrunken, I think shrunk. I'm not an English professor. I'm a crypto gaming educator. Okay, so don't come at me about the dictionary or the grammar. All right, but once the fully diluted actually comes back down to the level that it's supposed to be, Mike, I do think people are going to be tremendously bullish on Veracity. Decentral Games, I like Decentral Games. Their business model is really good and profitable. If you can bet on a profitable business in Web3, that's actually rare. Like, most businesses in Web3 are not profitable. So I am bullish on Decentral Games. Don't know how people like Render. They don't have a product yet. Will they survive the bear market? I doubt. Don't tell Bungie, don't tell Pudgy Penguins, don't tell a bunch of these studios that use Render already. I've shown examples in the past of their work. Bungie, the Halo developers, are building a Web3 game and they used Render. That's on record. You can check that out on Twitter. Yeah, Mike, I'm not an English teacher. Let's see here. Naka, Travel With Me says, Naka, I think that obviously I love Nakamoto Games. I think that this is going to be a huge winner in the bull market. It's still up 10x this year, though. So, like, like, as much as I want to accumulate it, but from its lows, it's basically 5, like, it's dependent upon where you bought it near the lows, it's a 5 to 8x from its lows. So I definitely want this one to come down a little more. But given the market cap, it has a lot of, it does have a lot of upside potential. What's my opinion about Alien Worlds? I think Alien Worlds is a very last cycle play. Nothing against the project. Isn't that XLM? No, it's what's their token? I know they have a token. TLM, that's right. Alien Worlds. Let's see where this is at right now. Yeah, I mean, tokens are getting hit harder, that's for sure. I don't like the all chart. Obviously, they didn't launch. The all chart's obviously pretty brutal, but at the same time, I genuinely am not a fan of Alien Worlds heading into the next cycle, personally. Is Prime on the futures markets? I'm not sure. The only exchange that might have that would be Bybit, I would assume. Maybe on Bybit. I'm not sure. I don't think Coinbase has it on the futures market, but don't quote me because I accumulated spot on Echelon Prime whenever I bought in. OXT thoughts. It's up now. OXT. OXT. What is OXT? OXT Orchid. Oh, okay. I know this project. I've done some research into it in the past. I think that this one will make it through the next cycle. It is fully diluted, which I like. Orchid's an interesting project, I would say. PYR doesn't appear to have dumped as much as some of the others. Positive signs, absolutely. And they do have a big activation in about 19 days that's going to put them in front of the mainstream. I love PYR, and I think anything around that $3 level is a really good accumulation long term. Thoughts on Winner? Winner. Oh, it's a sport, it's like a betting protocol. I think GambleFi is obviously a big narrative. I think that there's a lot of projects with potential. As stereotypical as it is, I would just consolidate my bets into Rollbit. Even though Rollbit's up tremendously, the circulating supply is shrinking by the day. It's being burnt. It's being taken out of circulation. I like RLB in the GambleFi narrative, and I think a lot of these other projects, for the most part, are just fighting for market share while Rollbit is growing every single day. Miria, I think, is at its all-time low. Let's take a look here. We'll cycle by market caps. We'll go to Miria, and we'll go to the all chart. Yeah, I mean, it's basically made new all-time lows almost every single day it's been on the market. Look, this is a bull run token, guys. I've said it a lot of times. The tokenomics here are really bad. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like the tokenomics, just in a full disclosure way. I think Miria in the bull run is going to make a ton of gains. It's a $6 million fully a circulating market cap, so there's not a lot of tokens out there. But every single person that has a node, they just get tokens in their wallet every single day. And this just shows you they're selling them for profits every single day, the way that this has trended so far. All these coins will dump 80% minimum real soon. You have to bet on the right tokens. It's not on Bybit, then probably not on a futures market then. Remember the Solace token? What happened with that Metaverse Games project? Let's take a look at it. I haven't looked at the token in quite a while. Solace looked really good in the last cycle, but then again, they were coattailing. Oh my God. Good Lord. 57,000 market cap. I definitely can't say good things about it or else the token would pump. So I think they were coattailing the last market, to be completely honest. Still keen on Matic. Well, first of all, I'll answer the one before it, so I go in order. G Swift. I'm a big fan of G Swift. I think that they're going to make it. I think that this one's going to be a big winner in the bull run. And I mean, they just got on build on base. Like they're going to be building with Coinbase, which I think is going to give them a good boost. I would assume that eventually, G Swift gets put probably on Coinbase if they're building with Base. So yeah, I'm really interested to see how that plays out. Still keen on Matic. I mentioned earlier, this one's looking brutal right now. I hate that Ryan Wyatt left. He was the reason that a lot of the gaming sentiment came into Polygon. So it's tough. And I think the downside here is heavy for Polygon. And my problem is there's no new games recently. There's no new big companies recently. Ever since Fizz left, which I really dislike. So I'm not sure. How about High Street? High Street is going to be a really good metaverse play heading into the next cycle. But the problem with stuff like that, High Street, Sandbox, etc., is it does take the metaverse being in the limelight to pump those tokens. So you have to be patient and if you're looking at metaverse tokens. Artifact Arty, I see it all over my timeline. I'll have to take a look at the tokenomics and stuff like that before I give you an opinion. ILV, super bullish on Illuvium heading into the next cycle. I haven't made my long-term accumulation as the markets are pretty choppy at this moment in time, but I couldn't be more bullish on Illuvium. I'm actually running a giveaway right now, guys, on my Twitter at 0x Hustlepedia for some, oh, look at me. the double. I'm in the matrix right now as I'm live on my Twitter while I'm live here on YouTube in front of you. So that, yeah, we're living in the matrix in that regard. But I am running a giveaway for some Illuvitars. So if you're interested in Illuvium, I'm giving away 10 packs of the Wave 2 Illuvium Beyond sale. So you can head over to my Twitter and check that out if you're of interest or you are a fan of Illuvium. Shiba, not a big meme coin connoisseur, but it'll definitely have another run. It'll, for the most part, the stupidest tokens do the stupidest gains. So probably will. UFO and S Fund, I like both of them, but they're definitely both bull run tokens. And the reason I say that is UFO is basically a meme token, and Cetify, nothing really launches in the bear. So like the launch pad side will pick up heavy in the bull run. So with those two, you have to be patient. The play to watch narrative, do you mean watch to earn? I think watch to earn could be big, but maybe not sustainable. It's kind of like walk to earn with step in. I definitely don't like that. But it could be an interesting narrative. What's the crack with Angelic on Solana? I honestly haven't heard of it. I'll have to take a look at it. I'm not going to give you an opinion if I'm not too keen or aware of the token. Sol still bullish long term, absolutely. It is super low market cap. So in the short term, it's going to bleed. But I do talk to the team quite frequently, and they're building some really cool stuff behind the scenes. I think that Phantasma will have another run in the future for sure. Atlas versus Polis. I would invest in Polis all day, every day. So like I have ships staked and I earn Atlas every day. So what do I do with that Atlas? Full disclosure, I go take profits on that Atlas, right? So you're not doing that with the Polis token. The Polis token in the economy is going to be used to actually govern the game. So I like Polis in the Star Atlas ecosystem rather than the Atlas token. If you're taking advice from this simp, have fun being broke. If you're taking advice from this simp, then you're up 30% this week on Echelon Prime. Then you are up 55x on Pepe when I called it. And you are up 300% on Wagme Games when I called it, all during a bear market. And that's just all over the last 3 months. So with that, we'll go ahead and close it out with a little bit of humble brag. Like the video and subscribe for more. I'll be back on Monday to give you guys, more insights, and we'll see what happens over the weekend with Echelon Prime, as this one does not look to be slowing down. So like the video, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys on Monday. As always, play well, my friends.